How's it going? Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I know my weekend has been great. Just kind of been running around California. Hasn't been too crazy. And went snowboarding for a little bit, so that's cool. It's always a good time. So, what are we doing in today's video? We're going to be discussing something that has become pretty important to me nowadays. Has become basically one of my to-dos, or one of my goals, in the sense of I want to achieve this by the end of 2024, right? And it's nothing monetary, it's nothing to do with, any crazy career goals or aspirations. Right now, I just really want to get my attention span back. I think we don't have it anymore. I think we're slowly but surely losing this attention span, and it's messing with me. It's messing with me a little bit, right? I can't concentrate on menial tasks or menial things that I used to be able to just do for hours, right? And now it's just a little bit of a struggle to just get in the rhythm of things. So, first, the hypothesis is that you probably heard this already, but the constant input of information that you're ingesting in your daily lives, from video content, from reels, from shorts, from articles, from the written works, whatever it is literally grabbing all that information and trying to process it at every single point of the day. And you're not allowing yourself to develop kind of your own thought patterns and your own thoughts. So I think that's problem number one. So with that being said, with problem number one, it just means that we just have to solve it, right? So how are we going to solve this? I think the first step is to minimize the amount of stuff that's coming into your brain. So this includes, for me, a lot of videos. So I consume a lot of video content, and I've been consuming video content for years. And that's why I'm trying to make this, because instead of just consuming, I want to start creating and producing. So that's going to be step one. Step two is eliminate any type of short content type of videos, because this short content, you're exercising your attention span to a set timer of 7 to 30 seconds, and that's not a very long time to do anything. So whenever your brain is tasked to do something that lasts more than 7 to 30 seconds, you're basically putting yourself in a weird position that, okay, I'm not stimulated, or I'm not getting something different, or I'm not getting that novelty that I'm trying to get from the next piece of content that's going to come in 30 seconds, right? Sometimes you have to sit down. You have to sit down and just focus on the one thing that you have been doing, or that you need to get done, for 30 minutes to an hour, 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours. And I think that training of 30 seconds on, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds on is just going to act as a detriment to your ability to concentrate and your ability to just sit down and do menial work or menial tasks or simple work, right? Not to say complex work, right? I don't know if you guys have sat down and tried to do something really complex lately with your mind, and you just can't do it. Plain and simple, you just can't sit down and solve a hard, math problem, or like a hard, whatever endeavor or cognitive endeavor, insert here, right? So that's step two. And then step three, I think I do want to limit the amount of music that I listen to, or at least the type of music that I listen to, right? I've been running into this problem lately, that every time I'm, just sitting down or doing nothing, I just have a song playing in my head. And it'll be like the stupidest sound. For some reason, I'll just have it playing in my head, And sometimes even at night, whenever I go to sleep, I just have a song just like stuck in there over and over again, and I have it on a loop. And instead of using that time, to think about something productive or have like, thoughts that could lead to some type of creativity like this, then I'm just ignoring it completely and making something, basically wasting my neurons and my brain functions on music. So those are the 3 things that I kind of want to limit. Other things are obviously stuff that are vices, right? So nicotine is one of my biggest vices. I love nicotine, and I have not been doing nicotine for the last 2 days. And hopefully my brain starts to feel a little bit better, because I do think that stimulates you in a way that you don't actually get by doing boring stuff like learning or studying or any of that. And if you're popping, sins, or you're vaping, or you're doing any of that, then basically you're just enhancing those neural pathways that to do hard things, you need the stimulant to be able to do that, right? So I'm gonna limit the amount of that in my life, at least to only when either I go out or I have nothing important to do after the night of a long day's work. So those are going to be the 2. I'm going to try and not do it at all, but those are going to be the 2 criteria if I do it. And yeah, I think that'll help a lot. I think that'll help a lot of people if you just stop doing those 3 consumption items, right? And then that 4th, whatever vice that you have, you just try to eliminate it slowly. So it could be anything. It could be like alcohol, nicotine, adult content, whatever it is that your vice of choice. Just limit it to a sustainable amount that doesn't interfere with your day-to-day life, or it doesn't trigger you to do like a binge session in whatever it is you're doing. So I think that's going to be very beneficial for a lot of us that grew up with our phones, a lot of us that grew up with our minds always racing on, new input and new things and new data coming in, and not developing thoughts of our own or developing our creativity, right? Because now you're taking away all that stuff, or limiting the amount of exposure that you have to that stuff, so your brain can start producing outward instead of just taking in information. So that's the plan. Hope that you guys implement it. Hope it actually helps out a little bit. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.